much rain on them, babe. Hey, everybody. Hey, that one lit.
That'll work for right now.
Yeah, water's probably down in the oil and everything, so have to buy new wicks and all.
Oh. Hey, David.
So we're
Hi,
live.
Mark.
Hey, Dave. How y'all?
Hi.
We're good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Sorry about that. I had to see if I could light a few of them. They ain't doing too good, though. So.
Well, if we get
Glad to
blown
have you.
away, then it's a square deal.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad to see y'all sitting outside, too. That's cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful out right now.
Yeah, I can tell. A little cloudy here, but it's not bad. It's not our usually temperatures of 95 degrees with
Ouch.
100% humidity. I don't watch you in about 84 for a while ago. That's cool here.
I'm talking about the mosquitoes. Yeah, this is cool today. Yeah.
I'll take it's 84 degrees every day.
It's 64 here.
That's real nice. That's real nice.
Beautiful.
Real nice.
It's actually been a very mild month for July. Usually July's very hot here in Alabama. We've been in the 80s since about a week and a half now, going on almost 2 weeks. It's been very nice.
70s at night.
Yeah, it's been very nice.
I think there was one that it was in the 60s at night still, wasn't it?
Yeah. So.
Which is unusual for here. July is usually 90s and 100s.
Ouch.
Same for next month.
Is August worse?
August is usually either worse or the same. And then September is the same as August, or
Well, it starts sometimes
it
cooling off.
starts, but it don't get cool. October is the one that starts the cool.
Yeah, usually in September is when we'll light our first fire.
Yeah, no, October here.
Yeah,
If we're lucky.
October, November, yeah.
Gotcha. Wow.
But we've had a lot of cool weather in September before. We've had nights get down in the 50s and the days be in the 60s. So,
but those are the unusuals versus the norm.
Yeah, it's usually October. So. Well, baby, you want to holler at?
Well, I already got started. I've got it up there, so let's start calling.
Let's see. We got Sharon, Judy, Gary, Billy, Bobby,
Sherry,
Janelle, Barb,
Henry,
Tennessee, Christy. Good to see you, Christy.
Richard Jr.
Let's see. CD, Miss CD. So we'll have some more probably piling in here in a minute.
Y'all have had some conversations going on.
Yeah, they've been going in there, haven't they? Catherine.
Yep, there's Catherine.
River. Good to see you, River.
Oh, I missed River.
Yeah. We got a good bunch in here already.
Sharon, right?
Huh?
We said Sharon, right?
Hey, Miss
Mark
Jean.
Plowboy's here.
Yeah, hey, Miss Jean. So we got a good crowd. I'm glad we can see everybody tonight. Of course, most everybody knows. Hey, Mark Creel.
And y'all, I'm still scrolling through y'all's conversations.
Right. It's been going on for 30 minutes, I think. So that's good. Yeah.
Greg's in the house.
Hey, good deal.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Good to see everybody. Jeffy. Yeah, good to see everybody.
Yep, Jeff D. Because there is a Jeff too.
Cracker tea.
Hey, everybody, while I'm thinking about it, at the end of our live tonight,
flip on over
to Woodwalkers. We're going to make an announcement tonight. So me and Rebecca will go over and be on with Spencer, Greg, and Misty.
Hey, Pamela. Hey, Robert Van Duven.
Yeah. And we're going to make hey, PJ. We're going to make an announcement. And so y'all come over.
Hey, Gene.
It'll be hey, JR. So right after our live with David.
Hey, Michelle.
Michelle,
Letissa, Michael X.
We'll go over and switch over to them.
Sherry.
Now what you got there? It looks like a Boo Healer mixed with something.
That's cute.
It's
Hillary.
a min pin.
He's a harlequin.
It's a what now?
Harlequin
min
pin.
Like a min pin, yeah.
Love it.
He's my boy.
Oh yeah, he's good looking.
Yeah,
his sister's crashed right behind us right now. So
Steven. I had to just stop scrolling, y'all. There is so many screens. Oh, Wendell's in here, I think.
Yeah,
Brother
Miss
Wendell.
Yep.
Wendell. Yeah, we got a.
So there's a bunch, Miss Deb. There's a bunch I missed, I'm sure. Katie G.
Yeah.
So hey, everybody. Sorry if I didn't call your name out. Y'all got some chat going on in there today.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
So, yep.
It must be for you guys.
Nah, it's for y'all. Hey, that's a good.
Well,
That's
some of
one thing I like about our group. When somebody's on somewhere, if we know about it and we can, we try to support everybody.
Yep.
And,
we do.
Yep.
and I'm glad everybody does, and
Hey, Stace.
everything. But now you've been working out of town the last few weeks or something.
Last few months, yeah, I've been working in Roseburg, Oregon. It's like 2 hours away.
Okay.
So that
And
makes up some of the shows, and then I get home and it's like catch up on everything that needs to be done here, and so it's kind of scrambled, but it's good. We needed it. I needed it.
Yeah, that's good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And y'all, I know y'all got your gardening going and everything too, hadn't you?
Yes,
We
sir.
do.
Oh, well, good. Well, I'll hit you up more about the garden here in a minute, because that's one thing I tell people when we have them on is I want to hear about you a little bit, not just your experiences, but I want to hear about you a little bit and
Your hobbies.
your
and
gardening
likes
or hunting, especially the hunting. I mean, you could probably talk for hours on hunting.
Hey, Don, by the way.
You won't shut me up.
Yeah. So,
And that's okay.
yeah, ain't nothing wrong with
Hey,
that.
Donna. Hey, Squatch and Holler. Wait a minute. Did I say Squatch and Holler?
Old Roger's made it in. Good to see you,
He
Roger.
sure did.
Roger.
Good to see you, man.
Hadn't seen Roger in a while.
They are in a drive-in movie about to watch Twisters. So that's pretty
Nice.
cool.
That's a good movie.
Hey, that's cool that you're in a drive-in. There ain't many of
Exactly.
those left no more.
Mhm.
Y'all have many drive-ins left in Oregon?
Not that I'm aware of.
The one
You-
that was in Roseburg, I don't think it's even there anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if there is one.
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of.
We
I
have.
think all the ones here have closed except for the new one they built at the mall.
No, I think the one's still going up in Leesburg or where that was at.
Oh, okay.
I think there's one,
Center.
and I think there's still one up North Alabama around Greg and them.
Oh,
I
okay.
think Greg might know the answer
Yep.
to that. But,
Greg, y'all still got a drive-in up there?
I think there's one up in that neck of the woods.
Letitia
somewhere.
says there's one in Indiana, and they're about 35 miles from it. That's
Okay,
not bad.
cool.
Oh, that ain't.
Shoot, I remember when about every little town in Alabama had a drive-in when I was growing up, which that was in the 70s and 80s. So
They were cool. I loved them.
Yeah.
Same here.
it was. I enjoyed it. In fact, the one for the Sylacauga was half a mile from my house when I grew up. They built it kind of out from Sylacauga. They brought it out in the country. In fact, it was right there, right
Hey,
where the
Leanne.
woman got hit by the meteorite at that time. It was right next door to it. So
Oh, wow.
that drive-in, they said, was there when she got hit by that meteorite. So that was a long time. It was back in 1954. So that's cool. Yeah, one's still in lead.
That's
Yeah,
good.
That's good. Yeah, I hate to see our older stuff. I don't know why my phone keeps trying to go to that screen. Anyway, she set me up an app for the intermittent fasting.
Mhm.
It keeps flipping over to it for some reason.
Because you keep touching something, I'm
Yeah, I
sure.
imagine. So,
Usually an operator problem of some
yeah,
sort.
probably operator problem. So that's good. Drive in and Luca, Mississippi. That's cool. Hey, that's cool. I'm glad they still
Well,
some
babe,
going.
you want me to go ahead and get my plant and book out of the way?
Yeah, go ahead and do your plant and everything, and then we'll turn the show over to them and let them go to talking.
Well, last week we showed off chamber bitter, which is a common weed in all of our gardens. You get bare dirt, you get chamber bitter usually. Today's another one that's going to be another one that comes up wherever we have pulled up all the grass or pulled back the mulch. It's a common weed that we just toss out. I mean, people recognize a weed that grows kind of flat on the ground in a rosette type shape, and it's almost got a woody type feel to it. I don't know if y'all can see. There we go. Anyway, it's called prostate spurge. And there's like a whole class of spurges. This is just one of them. But when you walk out in your yard and you see this flat, rosette shaped, it seems like it's spreading weed. That's what this is. I'm just going to throw that down for now. And of course, y'all know Google is your friend, but make sure that you're checking your sources, okay? Make sure that when you Google something, you check those sources because there's conflicting information out there everywhere. Make sure you're getting your information from a trusted website. So, extracts of prostate spurge, which is also known as euphorbia, have been known to be used in India to treat bleeding hemorrhoids and stuff. They contain flavonoids, phenolics, and phenolic acids, which are responsible for its effectiveness. Not sure what that's talking about, but anyway, treatment for cancer. It's a purgative. It's an ointment for sores. Numerous uses of the root, including treatment for pinworms and urinary tract diseases. In other words, this is another one of those weeds with a lot of things that it covers. So, like I say every show, get out your phone, go out to your yard, pick a weed, do the reverse image lookup or something like that. Google, I can't think, image search, whatever it is that you have some sort of app on your phone for. Mine is, let me see if I can show you. Y'all see that Google search bar? There's like a little square right there beside my finger, and I don't know if it's showing up or not, but that's all I do. I press that, and it pulls up this screen. And I take a picture of my weed, and what it does, hush, Mark.
I'm laughing at what David said.
What did David say? First thing, oh,
David
bleeding
Hughes, he said,
hemorrhoids.
wow, the first thing he heard
Yep.
was bleeding hemorrhoids.
Yep. So I take a picture, and it will tell me. So hold on. So here's where I took the picture. I just scroll up, and it pulls all of these sources from the internet. And it will tell me where all those sources came from, what website and all. And you can look at that and know if it's a good source or not. If it's a university, it's usually a good place to ID it. Y'all know who your trusted herbalists and stuff online are, because a lot of times you want to be careful with medicinal things, because they actually don't always tell the truth about whether or not they're poisonous or not. But let me say this. Chemo is poisonous, but we use it to treat things. So keep that in mind. Sometimes a poison is a good thing, but you just have to be extremely careful with it and know exactly what you're doing. So make sure that you identify it. Make sure you look at all the uses for it and the ways to use it, and decide, can I recommend something for nerve pain? I wish I could. There are a lot of nervines out there. I have not done any research into that. I am not trained to tell other people what to use. So I would just, there are some people that specialize in herbal medicine. I am not one of those, but you can find a lot of that information online as well. Figure out what the best herbs are for you to use, because not every herb that you use will work for you just like it does your neighbor. So just like medicines, herbs are the same way. Be careful, figure out what works best, go from there, make sure you're properly identifying. And if you want to learn, like I said, go pick a weed from your yard, identify it, start from there. You don't have to go anywhere to do it. Okay? So that's my plant of the week. Prostate spurge.
I got tickled at JR a while ago. He said he's starting to graze like you had missed it.
Yep.
Grazing.
Yep. Yeah, Misty had him eating a purslane omelet today. What was it? Weed and eggs or something like that, he called it. So, yeah, it was pretty funny.
No.
All right, book of the week. I didn't want this to be the book of the week, but it just happened to be laying on the coffee table. I wanted to have another guest on for this to be the book of the week. So I'm not going to tell a lot about it. but this was mentioned in one of our previous shows. So when you're out in the woods and stuff, it's very important to know how to find your way around. This tells you a lot of the ways to find your way around. Okay. So wilderness navigation. And this is the 3rd edition by Bob and Mike Burns. So Amazon, I hate it, but it works. All right. Book of the week and plan of the week.
You probably, y'all living in Oregon and doing the type of hunting you're doing, imagine y'all have to have some navigation skills and stuff that y'all keep up with and doing, because I know you get in some real thick woods and some places probably where you don't have cell service and you have to rely on your compass or stuff. Is that kind of, how do y'all do?
We go back to paper maps a lot. Mike gave us a lot. When he died, he gave us his whole map collection.
Like a collection of maps,
and it fills a whole drawer in our armoire of just his maps.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then we have Onyx.
Onyx Maps is like a hunting app that you can download.
I've heard of that.
So we kind of get our bearings and everything.
Right.
And then we take the paper maps with us when we're actually out there.
Okay.
That's what Pat was using the other day.
Load or download or offline maps on the Onyx. You can, like take pictures of the areas, and then you can look at them when you're offline, when you don't have any cell service. You still have those maps in your history. So
like in your phone or whatever. Yeah, you can pick areas that you want to, like up to 15 miles or 10 miles or 5 miles. The 5 miles gives you more detail, and you can just, while you're online, you can just download those maps onto that app. And so when you go out there, even if you're if you have no internet service, you can still, like she's saying, you can still pull those maps up and it shows everything on them. Yeah. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, that is.
Hey, dude,
and then I have
Jones did.
Yeah.
David's the one that has his directional in his nose.
I pretty much know where I'm at all the time.
East, west, north, and south.
You kind of have. It's about paying attention more than anything, I think.
It is, and I got turned around one time in the woods at nighttime coon hunting because I listened to somebody else that kept telling me we was going the wrong way, and I'm going, no, we're going the right way. But I started doubting myself, so I turned around, done what they wanted, and we ended up walking about 5 miles out of the way. And I should have listened to my intuition and say, hey, man, if you want to stay back here, you fine. I'm heading this way. So.
Yep. I got turned around once myself. Actually, kind of twice. The one time mushroom picking, and I had my nose to the ground, which is going to a spot I'd never been, and it all looked exactly the same. And I had we had our 2 sons. I had our 2 sons with us, and normally I'm like, no, we need to go this way. We need to go this way. And the one son who wasn't picking mushrooms, he was just walking with us, and me and the other son, we were picking them. And we were getting ready to go, and I was like, all right, let's head back. And I kind of pointed where I thought the truck was. And he's like, Dave, the truck's not that way. And I'm like, yeah, it is. He goes, no, we came down over here. And I was like, I don't know. I was like you, Mark. I was like, I don't know. And he was like, I'm telling you, I've been paying attention. I was like, okay, well, we're going to go your way for a little bit. And if it doesn't start looking familiar or we don't get back to the truck, then we're going to go back and go my way. And sure enough, he was right. And it was kind of a wake-up call to me, like, if you're not paying attention, because the woods looked all the same. It was all young timber. There was no brush, really. It was just kind of like, it was steep, but it was just draws and stuff. And all the draws looked the same. And I just had my nose to the ground looking for chanterelles and just turned my direction a little bit. But that little bit, man, you keep walking, it goes a long ways off. The other time, it was like I went through some vortex or something, and it was weird. I mean, you walk up one side of a creek, cross the creek, and walk back down the other side of the creek. And suddenly I'm at a spot where I have no idea where I was. I don't know what happened there, but I did find my way back. But I showed Dee Dee where I ended up. It was like, 2 miles, a mile from that creek or something. Yeah. And I was coming the opposite way from our camp. It was really weird. I don't chalk up necessarily to get lost or turn around. I don't know what happened there.
Right, right.
It was weird.
I tell you, especially all of us in this field we're in, or subject, or whatever you want to call it. I call it the weird stuff, but but we really, you know, a lot of us is going out in the woods, not just hunting, but doing research, especially if we're walking, because usually we're looking for signs, we're looking for tracks, so we're not paying attention to our surroundings like we should. And it'd be easy to get turned around. And we're going to do a show one night. We'll have David Hughes and Will and Spencer. And if you'd like to come back on, because I know you've had some, y'all been in some deep woods compared to probably us here in Alabama. We don't have the woods like we used to have. I mean, we got our national forest that you can get turned around in. But if you go to walking one way, you're going to come out sooner or later on a highway or a dirt road, or, you know, that could get you somewhere toward, you know, humans. But I did have a buddy get turned around out in Talladega National Forest one night, or one evening hunting. He spent the whole night in the woods, and he finally got to a hill where he had some cell service, and he called his brother-in-law. I think it done got to be 2 o'clock in the morning. And when his brother-in-law, he said, well, stay on that hill. And when I get out here, I'll get on, you know, I'll find a hill. You shoot your rifle right in here. So they get talking to each other, and he said, go ahead and shoot your rifle. Well, he discharged his rifle, and he said, I didn't hear it. So he rode on 4 or 5 miles and got out to another place and said, do it again. Barely heard it, way off. He done got 15 miles from his truck.
Wow.
And, you know, he done got that far away. And but they ended up getting him out by daylight. So
that's
he
scary.
got real, yeah. So, and he told me something. He said, Mark, he said, I used to laugh at you about Bigfoot and all that stuff at work. He said, I heard some things in there that night, and he said, it wasn't regular animals I was hearing. So he said, you may be on to something. And,
I bet. Yeah, that makes you think about it. And you know, that's kind of interesting, huh? How that can happen, where things happen at weird times, like being turned around or lost, or, you know, whatever the situation is. But man, that's scary. I would not, I was almost panicking the one time I got turned around, and I called it turned around. What I'm going to do the quote turn around, but it was almost that point where, cause like you said, Mark, some of these places you can go, and if you walk long enough, it might take you a night or a day or something to hit a dirt road. You might not know where you're at when you hit the dirt road, but at least you're on a road. But there's other places you're going to die of exposure, or, you know, dying of thirst. I mean, there's a lot of water, but there's just places where it's hundreds of miles before there's anything.
Right. And y'all have a lot of that up there, don't you?
Yeah, our woods, you know, a lot. I've been listening to what you guys talk about, like your woods, or some of them are like 30,000 acres and all this stuff. Our woods are like 250,000 acres or 1.5 million acres, and some of them are like 1,000 square miles type stuff. That there's
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah,
vast.
A lot of difference there.
Huge.
The Talladega National Forest is 500,000 acres, but it's not real wide. It's real narrow, but it's just real long. But there's people all around it. People, you know, towns around it, highways going through it. So, I mean, like my buddy, he went 15 miles, and he told me he couldn't hear a car. He couldn't see no lights, but he, what was that?
Me.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
I was just playing with the sentence.
Oh, I didn't know what was going on
I
from there.
messed up. Sorry. Keep going.
But anyway, you know, he was still in there a good piece, you know, and he could, and there's been people lost in the Talladega National Forest, and I can't remember how big Bankhead is. I think it's about the half the size of Talladega National Forest. I won't say it's 250,000 or something, but there's people go missing in there all the time. And Greg can tell you a lot more about that than I can. But and there's one area they don't even allow trucks or nothing. It's only walking only, and I don't think there's hardly no roads in there because they call it a wilderness area.
Yeah.
And people get in there and get stranded, and they have to go do search and rescue. I think Greg's been involved on that several times, and so but I've had a guy get almost lost on our hunting club, which at one time was 10,000 acres, which, I mean, it's a good bit of land. He got turned around for a little while, but he finally heard a vehicle come down the road, and he knew which way to walk, so. Christy said do that again.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I was just letting everybody know before I did it.
So Christy wanted a close-up of us.
She likes the close-up.
Too.
Yeah.
That does look better, though, really.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Why?
It made them look a lot better with their phone turned the other way, but it cut us off.
I ain't worried about it. You can scoot my way. You can't come my way no
No,
more.
not really.
Okay.
I like this version.
Get over here.
Yeah.
I can go this way a little more, babe. What's killing us is this arm of this chair.
Yeah.
That's same here.
Yeah, we got our big chairs.
Yeah, I seen your dog just run back behind you. Sister still crashed. That's unusual. She still crashed behind us. So.
Yeah, she's probably been running a lot.
Yeah, everybody said now we can see you.
Mm-hmm. Can I just get back over here?
I can see my gray hair real good now.
What you mean?
I have almost the most visible.
Now you got still some
part.
hair now, David. I ain't got none. See, mine about gone.
Yeah, I've always had this. I can't remember what they call that, where it's kind of high up on the forehead, but I've always had that.
Right.
I used to comb the bangs forward, like a comb forward.
Now y'all got hunting season coming in pretty soon, don't you?
Yes, sir. In fact, August 1st is bear season starts,
Nice.
and that goes to January 1st.
So you getting ready to
go ahead?
So that's next Thursday, Friday.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Okay, so y'all going out next weekend bear hunting?
We might because actually on the 9th I'm leaving to Eastern Oregon and I'm going antelope hunting.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Nice.
That'd be cool.
Hey, all the new people, by the way. There's actually some very new people in here, like
Nice.
Ristel.
Yeah.
I think he's a new watcher or a new commenter, rather. I've not seen him in the chat before. But we've got Randall and several others that have popped in. Nancy said thanks for the eggs, by the way.
Okay.
So
Nice.
Good to see you. Good to have everybody come in with us. That's good.
Yes.
So you're going antelope hunting.
Yep, with a longbow.
Hey, that sounds interesting.
nice.
That sounds interesting. Got Jonestead in here with us. That's
Yeah,
good.
they've been in.
Good.
They're one of the ones I was trying to point out earlier, and just it's hard to point out everybody.
Yeah, we're not speaking. We're not doing it on
Ignoring.
purpose. It's hard to keep up with chat and talk.
Yep.
But now how do they do like the antelope hunting in Oregon? How's that set up? And you have to draw tags, or how's
Yes.
that work?
It's all draw for antelope.
Y'all locked up on us.
Yeah, you froze there. I don't know. Still there, David? We lost him a minute.
Yep, we lost them. Maybe they'll come back. No, I didn't mean you were a new one, Nancy. I was just saying that you pointed out that you commented about the eggs. And we did. We lost them. There they go.
There they are.
I'm running towards the house. It said that we need to get closer to our router, so give us a second, okay?
You're good.
You're
Take
good,
your
David.
time.
Take your time,
Okay.
brother.
We're running.
Take your time. That's right. Don't run. Take your time. We
Okay.
ain't no rush.
Okay. I'll get some light on in here a little bit. And Dee Dee's lacking behind a little bit, but
That's okay. That's okay.
all right. I swear, man, there's something about every time we try to go on a show, it happens.
I know the other night you was having a fight with it on with Jerry and Jeff night. Boy, that you had a time with that thing going on.
Yeah, it was like 3 times in a row, 3 weeks in a row. So where do you want to set up, baby?
I done.
You know, sit on the couch.
Sure.
Okay.
Y'all do whatever you need to do. Make yourself comfortable now.
We may have to just hold the phone now, just to because we don't have it set up in front of us. But
You want me to set the table up in front of
here, you do this.
They'll say you might could prop something up to get it up there.
Yeah,
That might-
David's gonna get it.
Make it a little easier on you. That holding that phone after a while
gets old.
Gets old quick.
I don't think that's gonna.
I bet it will.
What happens when y'all turn your phone the other way? Oh, yeah, it just turns you, huh?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm upside down.
I think you have to have it turned sideways before you start it.
That might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it go, because I used to goof up filming sometimes, and I'd have to
Start over.
start over. Oh yeah, we can see you good though. We can see.
Okay.
Y'all-
I'm just gonna hold it, but I'm gonna kind of lean it on her leg here.
Well, if you need to find you some books or something
Y'all
to prop
take
it
your
up,
time. Do what you
yeah.
need to do.
If you need something to prop it up, make it easier on you now. I want y'all to be relaxed.
So
Because the more relaxed you are, the longer you can be on.
Hey, one thing about it, can't nobody say we ain't realistic on these shows.
that's right.
That's right.
You get everything. You get the bloopers and the hilarious times and the all kind of stuff. So
Okay, we'll get a table over here now.
Now, do you want to put something on the table?
hey, I love the background. That's cool too.
That is a good balance.
Is it too high?
No, I think so.
Okay.
It'll work.
Do we even have any watermelon?
I've
out
got
there?
to check them, but that's cool, Mr. Randall. I'm glad you got some watermelons. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I need to look at mine and my cantaloupe. All right, there
All
we
of
go.
my cantaloupe finally came up.
Yeah, they did come up. That's good.
Finally.
All right. I think I was asking you about how they set up the antelope season and everything. I think that's where we left off.
Yeah,
at,
that's
I
where
think.
y'all locked up at.
Okay, yeah. So for all antelope is draw, and for bow hunting, there's certain ones, the units that aren't as good, but that's pretty much the only way you're going to draw a tag to be able to go hunt, like maybe every year or every other year for one. Otherwise, for like muzzleloader or rifle, it might take you 20 years to draw a tag. It's ridiculous.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I would go rifle hunting for one, but I'm not going to wait 20 years to go. I mean, I'll be 20 years, I won't even be able to go.
Right.
But it's draw for mule deer also, like for Eastern Oregon, it's the draw for that. And there's units you can put in pretty much every year and draw. And this year we drew a tag that took us 3 years to draw. And I'm really excited about that because I've seen giant mule deer bucks there. So we're really excited about that. That'll be in October.
The first part.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
And
Now-
bear, like bear, we can put in for you have to draw, but you're pretty much guaranteed. They just want your $8 for the draw. But for
Okay.
spring bear, you're pretty much guaranteed that. And then we can, for fall bear, we can get 2 more bears. So in Oregon, you could get up to 3 bears a year and 2 mountain lions a year. And mountain lions open all year.
Okay, so y'all can harvest them year round. Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
Now,
2 of
now is the elk pretty easy to get, or is that another one that's aggravating?
No, it's an
you
aggravating.
no you well they're hard to kill, but the tags for bow is over the counter. You can get an over the counter rifle tag for them too. She does a rifle tag for elk, and you're pretty much guaranteed that draw every year too. But it's only a 5-day hunt, and so getting them is really difficult. But getting the tag for one is not.
Oh, okay. Is now when you elk hunt, you can only take the bulls, or you can take calves, or I don't know what they call the elk. What they call them, a cow, or
Yes. There's some units that you can kill any elk. It's just any elk. And then, but the unit where you live in is called Tioga. 3-point bull or better.
okay.
Still having technical difficulties.
Yeah, y'all froze up for a minute there. You still there, David?
Nope, they're locked up again.
These have a lot of trouble. I wonder
Mhm.
what's going on there. I wonder.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear you there for a second.
There you go.
There you go.
I don't understand. We're like 10 feet away from our router.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes this technology is weird. I know sometimes it does us that way a little bit too, every now and then. But y'all not having no bad weather right now, just like we're not. And
Yeah.
It's windy.
And her phone's a newer phone. It's, a nice phone. It's not an older one. My phone's old, and that's why I know I'm having problems with it. This is
Right.
ridiculous. I don't know.
I don't know either. That's I know that like other night you were having a hard time on there with Jerry and Jeff, and y'all a little fixated a little bit. A while ago, y'all were very good and clear.
It froze again.
Yeah. So
Uh-oh.
yeah. Well, it's almost like it's time lapsing. You notice that right there just then? Huh. Can y'all hear us?
We can.
We can't.
Do you want us to
Okay.
turn off the camera? Would that help, you think?
Try that. See if it helps.
Just- How's
All right.
that?
All right, y'all still there?
Yes.
I hate
Okay.
to not see y'all, but that may be what we need to do.
Yeah, but now he done that other night
Mhm.
with Jerry,
Well, I said
and
it may.
it still didn't help him.
Oh,
none.
did it not?
Yeah. I think he finally had to come in on the phone and get Chad, I think, to finish it up. So
Yeah. Actually, Dee Dee did. She came in.
Yeah, I came in and told the
that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have having a faulty router or something.
It's
Or something.
new. It's a new router actually.
New route. Wow.
It's blowing. It's gusting pretty good. So that might be our issue. I have no idea.
I have
What
no
type of internet service do you have? Is it cable? Is it satellite? Is it like cellular?
I have both on my phone, but it's Spectrum is what we have here.
Okay, so it's
And
not satellite.
It's Wi-Fi, and then
Yeah.
I have cellular, data on the phone
Well, the
too.
Spectrum is cable versus the cable and the cellular. They deliver in a steady stream versus satellite, which delivers in packets or something. So packets doesn't stream well.
Well, we
The satellite doesn't work.
don't have satellite.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't.
you've got cellular and hard internet.
Yeah, it comes in.
But our Spectrum used to do that right there
Oh,
with
yeah.
us a lot. And then when we changed away from Spectrum, we quit having them issues. So.
Yep.
Huh.
So we were on Spectrum for a long time.
Yeah.
And then we went to this T-Mobile router. And you got to know if you got it in your area or not. We got it in our area, and we keep a pretty good
We keep a pretty good signal.
signal most of the time. We lost it the other night in some storms, but going back to the hunting, now when's y'all's elk season come in? It's on up in the fall, isn't it?
It's the end of August. It starts,
Oh, okay.
and then it goes to the end of September.
Wow, so that's right here close to then. So y'all be busy hunting in August and September then.
Uh-huh.
And October,
And
yes.
that's David's bow season. That
Okay.
starts in August and then ends in the end of September. And mine is in November. It's usually a week or two right before Thanksgiving, and I have my 5-day rifle hunt. So, which works really good because we can go out, and David's like the shooter, so I escort him around, drive him around, and then he's always on on the deck for shooting, and then he'll do the bow, and then I stay usually with the truck or and have the dogs. You know, I'm taking care of the dogs, and they go with us too. So
That's
and then
good.
it works, you know, that the opposite when I'm the shooter up during my season for rifle, and then, you know, he takes care of the dogs. And a lot of times, you know, I'll go with him and then I'll just video or whatever while, you know, he's hunting, and just go with him, and then, you know, we'll just leave the dogs home, or we leave them in the truck. You know, I mean, it works, and we go on hunts and do our walks and stuff.
That's good. And y'all get to hunt close by it, or y'all have to go a pretty good piece to get to where you're going to hunt at?
There's elk around here where we live, you know, within a mile or two, but usually we'll go an hour, maybe less sometimes, to different places where we go hunting where we know there's elk.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll take most of the day on those hunts, or we'll go and take our trailer out and camp and stay where those hunts are, you know, where we're, if we've got time to, and, you know,
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, here in Alabama, I guess we're fortunate in some ways. Some of us are. I guess need to put it that way. You know, there's a lot of private land, and a lot of people, you know, you got kin folks that own property and or friends, and a lot of them let you hunt. And of course, I'm able to hunt here at my house because I got enough property. And
That's good.
but then, you know, hunting club ain't but 2.5 miles away. That's, you know, that big old area, and then, of course, National Forest 12 miles away. So
Just
got plenty of places to hunt. I mean, I know some places in the country, you know, people have to go a good place to hunt. So I didn't know, you know, private landowners would let you hunt much or not, or if you had to mostly hunt, you know, public property. And
we have mostly public here that we hunt. We don't have a lot of available places. Well, really none. Unless I like a Western tank, and that's kind of like a private timber company.
They're huge timber companies.
And you can buy a permit for that.
okay.
But that's like a, you know, first come, first serve, and then they're gone for our area. And like David said, it's Tioga Unit is where we live. And so mostly where we hunt is public. So it's harder to hunt.
Right.
But that's for elk. Blacktail, we can here at our house. Our yard.
Yeah, bear, black-tailed deer, pretty much here, because some of the apples are just starting to ripen up and hit the ground. So from now on till like December, we have deer, bear. Every now and then we'll get an elk through here, but not. I mean, it's rare. We've never killed an elk here, but yeah, we can pretty fill our bag. If we go out deer hunting and it's getting close to the end of the season and we haven't harvested one each yet, then we will get one right there if that's what it's going to take.
That's cool. That's cool. It's good when the game is coming around your place, and I need to actually harvest a bunch of these does here this year. There's just too many of them, and that's what has happened here in Alabama. Our does have really. We used to not even be able to harvest does in Alabama a long time ago, and then when the deer population really started growing, they started issuing doe tags, but that wasn't even putting a dent in them. The next thing they know, they just opened it up. We can harvest a doe a day. I mean, when bow season starts, you can harvest a doe a day, and when gust season starts, you can harvest a doe a day. And there's a couple of places in Alabama they do have a little limit on it, but down in here where we're at, it's you can harvest a doe every day. And now we're only allowed 3 bucks a year, and one of them's got to have at least 3 points on one side. But the other two can be anything. You know, it can be a spike or a 3-point or any of that. But at least one of them's got to have 3 points on one side, and you can tell a difference a little bit. We see a lot of more antler deer than we used to, so better looking racks anyway.
Yeah. Well, we have a really good incentive here because we are caretakers for a lady that lives next to us, and she has given us as a life estate here on our property. There's 12 acres plus our house, and we're caretakers for her. And then she has 14 acres. And so it's all an old apple orchard or fruit orchard, because we have probably about 100 fruit on our property.
And we're losing them again.
Bear and deer to come right here, and then David gathers the apples, and so we have strategic places where we have some up on the upper part of our property where the bears will come in. They're more apt to come in, so we have them piled up there. Then we have some feeders that are right outside our side window or east window,
And that's just so we can watch them. We don't shoot them right out here, but we like to
watch them.
Yeah.
And there's every other day there's does and fawns that still have their spots coming through, and they apples put them up in the feeders and everything, and so they give us pretty much every day, every other day. So it's really cool. And we have black. What we're going to be hunting for in October is mule deer over in Eastern Oregon.
Because so the mule deer are more toward the eastern side of Oregon. Is that where they're at mostly?
The Cascade Mountain Range divides the eastern and western side of Oregon. It runs right down the middle of it, and so you have to once you cross the peak of the Cascades onto the east side. That's where you start into the mule deer country.
Okay. That's where more of the mule deer and the antelope are and stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's getting over toward Idaho and
yes. In fact, 2021 we went to Idaho. We bought out of state license tags, went over there mule deer hunting. I had a chance at a little buck, but that was it. We had fun, but we didn't get one.
Right. And hello to everybody that's come in to chat in the last few minutes. We had a bunch more people come in. Good to see everybody tonight and everything.
Yeah, that'd be us again as always with all the noise.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We got people popping still firecrackers over yonder, and some reason the traffic's busier than it usually is, so I don't know what's going on today, but
Friday night.
I guess everybody's happy to get outside because it ain't raining. We ain't had rain in the last 2 days, so I guess everybody's tickled the rain's holding off. So, and how's y'all's weather been out there? I don't even see much about Oregon. I mean, y'all been having a lot of storms, or just your typical weather for Oregon this time of year, or?
Well, we've had some really hot weather during. Well, you guys had it hotter,
Not
but
much.
for us, it was. It got into the hundreds. Day or
109, I think.
Well, where you were.
Yeah, in Roseburg, where I was working, it hit 109, I think.
For them.
Wow.
And they're warmer. When you get toward, I-5 is the Interstate 5 that runs through Oregon. It's north and south, runs through Oregon, Washington, and California. And then there's a lot of Highway 101 that runs all the way north and south, all the way through from Washington, Oregon, and California. And we live on 101. So David goes east and he goes over to where I-5 runs through, and that's where he works. And it's the Blalack Valley. And I'm just giving them a little geography lesson here. And so it's a lot warmer over there. It's 20 degrees warmer usually than we are on the coast. We're mostly mild. So for us to get like 100 or 90s is rare.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, that's very hot. And plus, y'all's humidity
Yeah.
probably made it rough.
Yeah. But right now, the last storm we had wasn't much rain, but it was a thunderstorm. And right now, Oregon's burning. There's massive fires everywhere.
And that was the thunder and lightning.
Yeah, the lightning caused it. And now, and then there's a huge one in California right now burning. And it was arson, and they got the guy, and it's like 160,000 acres right now, and it's like 3% contained. So this fire is like raging out of control.
Wow. I think I did see something about some fires out that way, and
it's everywhere around. We're not right here on the coast so much. There is some smaller ones. We're not threatened. We did have a little tiny one start a half a mile from our house in somebody's yard, but they got that one out real quick. It was kind of scary because it was blowing wind was howling right towards our house in the grasses. It's not as dry as like in the valleys and stuff, but it's definitely burnable. And we started smelling smoke and hearing sirens. We're like, let's go take a drive. So we took a drive, and they had it under control, but I don't know what happened, but it was like maybe an electrical fire or something, but that was pretty nerve-wracking. That was like, what, 2 weeks ago or something?
Yeah, because we're not supposed to be burning at all outside. Our fire danger is at high.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah.
So we can't even run. We're not supposed to run machinery like chainsaws or anything at 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. We're not supposed to be cutting any brown grass or anything like that, because of fire danger. And then there's the fire watch that you have after.
So yes, you talking about chainsaw? Somebody's running one way over yonder through the woods. Just see, I just heard them crank it up. I was like, Lord, this is noisy out here today.
Yep.
Usually it ain't like this.
We've got the owls hollering. We've got the cicadas going, and the tree frogs going, and
chainsaws and fireworks, and the guineas over there going ballistic about something. So
at least the dogs have calmed down because they were going.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that would be now to run a chainsaw at 8 p.m. Now, what time does it get dark out there? Typically,
usually around 9:30.
Yeah,
9:30.
about 9:30 right now.
Okay.
So you better get it done, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Get it while you can.
Yeah. Well, certain parts of the country, they have to do that, especially how tender the woods are here, and every now and then, Alabama, some woods catch on fire, but most of the time they can usually get them under control pretty quick.
That wasn't a firework.
That's somebody shooting a rifle just then. Everybody's outside doing something this season, but usually we don't have too many issues with fires in Alabama, but because they can get them contained pretty quick, and everything goes pretty good. Well, how's y'all's garden doing this year and everything? Your garden's doing pretty good, or?
Yeah, today it was crazy. I just kind of went nuts and got a whole bunch of stuff out of the garden. The green beans are just coming on. And then yesterday, we had a patch that we had just harvested a bunch of potatoes and garlic. And so we turned it around and tilled it or cultivated it, and got some steer manure tilled in there, and we planted a bunch of more green beans. So they take about 50 days or so. That's a month. We'll have more green beans again to harvest. So
that'd be good. So
yeah,
I guess I'm not ever really talked to anybody that raises gardens in Oregon. So with your weather, I mean, you start getting cooler weather pretty quick in, or can you grow stuff like we grow here in the South, like okra and that type? Can y'all grow that type of stuff? Or
I'm not an okra fan, so I grow it, but it's kind of later here, and this year it was even seemed like it was more later. I was starting seeds, and then it was just cold at night, and you got to wait till that ground warms up enough that you want to put your tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff out. So you can do cold weather crops in the spring, which is cabbage and celery and radishes and lettuce and all the cold weather stuff. You can start those early, but I start most of my stuff in my greenhouse, and then I'll transfer it up, pot it up into bigger pot plants, and then I'll transfer it out into the garden. And it was like in, I think before I even got the tomato plant, it was a little bit later, but they're doing really good. I've got tomatoes. Tomatoes are coming on now, and we're starting to harvest them a little bit. If it's the sun gold that I have, and some of the peppers I've got, some jalapenos and some green peppers on, but mostly it's later. So
Yeah,
in
it's
August,
so wet and foggy and cloudy and stuff in the spring that it's just puts a damper on it. So we kind of get a later start, but then our falls are so mild. They may be wet, but they're mild, and so we can kind of go a little later into the year than a lot of your guys' stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the cold weather stuff, we usually start putting it in the ground about September. Because if you get it in too quick, the bugs will just eat it as soon as it sprouts. And
same here. Slugs
and our summer stuff, we have to try to get in early as we can to get them a little ahead of the bugs. So the bugs will work havoc on them during the summer. So yeah, it's a gamble. You know how it is. You just don't never know how it's going to go.
And spring crops just about don't happen.
Yeah.
Because it gets too hot too quick.
Yeah. There's some people that's successful around here, but a lot of those are people that's retired and they're able to really keep an eye, or they're retired or they're able to stay at home and they're able to keep a good watch on that stuff. And with me and Rebecca working so much, we can't keep up with everything. So I'm even ashamed to show my watermelon patch right now what it looks like. I mean, it looks like a jungle out there. And
I don't even want to talk about the garden this year at all.
Yeah. But it will hide the watermelons from the deer. So I mean, I kind of there too. It's a double-edged sword there.
Yeah, but the deer ate the watermelon plants.
Yeah, well, they've eaten some of them, but
I don't have any okra. They munched all of that on down.
Yeah, and they eat the top side of the okra. And next year I've got to really. Here come our nosy neighbors.
Yeah, noisy neighbors.
Yeah.
The geese are flying in.
Yeah.
Oh, the geese.
Yeah, here come the Canadian geese.
We have a little pack of about 13 that roost on the pond throughout the day or night.
They may have went over on our neighbor's pond tonight.
Nice.
So be nice.
Yeah.
Neighbor's pond.
Yeah, they usually when they come over here, they loud. They let us know they're here. So, but yes, it is Jones. Jonestead Farm. It's rough to keep up with gardens. It's a full-time job. I mean, it's real worth it when you get to eat it, but it's a chore trying to keep up with everything. It is. So, well, I know that
I'm disabled, so I can pretty much keep up with it. And then
that's good.
My mom lives with us, so I take care of her too.
but it's hard, and it's an everyday thing. You know, if you miss a day, it'll catch up with you.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then, you know, you can have one or two animals come in one night and destroy it for you, or
Yep.
you know, drought and
2 or
stuff.
3 weeks worth of rain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody else mentioned the tomatoes are fried. Yeah, that much rain, they get the blight started in them, and it just like the plants just melt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
They start getting all kind of funguses and
Mm-hmm.
start
Yeah.
rotting, and yeah, it's can't never get the perfect weather much like we used to. It was easy to grow crops, but last 20, 30 years, it's been rough to graze crops like it used to be. But which, you know, we know they're doing the chemtrails and all that stuff nowadays. It ain't helping matters none. And
Yeah. That used to be a conspiracy theory, but now we all know it wasn't.
Now it's a fact.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yeah. You know, typically that's what's funny. These conspiracies end up usually becoming pretty true,
Yep.
or having a lot of hint of truth at it. You know, so
Yep.
It's true.
Yeah. and you know, and two, with the heavy use of herbicides, I wonder if starts helping make the ground stale too over time. You know, where it's not sterile anymore. So
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's a factor
Mhm.
these days.
anything you want to ask them about gardening, my baby? That's usually your subject now.
It is. I'm being eaten alive still,
Oh,
You gonna spray on?
even with spray on, babe.
Boy,
They
like
just sat here and watched me spray on live, even.
it.
I'm still
They're
wiping
not even
bugs off
bothering
of
me.
They are eating me alive.
They don't like you, or they do
Oh no,
like
they
you.
like me.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say they
Yeah.
like you. You know?
They like me.
like you.
Here's the one. Here's the one. Are y'all canning vegetables this year?
Oh yes, absolutely. I just did a batch. It wasn't any of the things that I'd grown, except I did a batch of salsa, and I had garlic, I think, from my garden in it. But that was pretty much the only thing so far, because my tomatoes are just coming on. I've got 42 large tomato or slicer tomato plants, and then I have like 28 Roma tomato plants.
I
Where
just have 22 total.
I'm going to have a tomato supply,
And then tomatillos.
and then I have tomatillo plants and my cucumbers, and they're just now starting to have, you know, their little babies on. And I see it like I have my first zucchini is just about ready to pick, probably in the next day or two. So
Nice.
things are just coming on. Like even my peas are just now coming in. And I've been growing lettuce, and I have my first cabbage that I'm gonna pick pretty soon.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So not quite ready for canning, but I make a whole bunch of pickles and always salsa. Salsa is year long. I'll just go get it at the store or farmer's market for what I need. But
Yeah, I just usually put up diced tomatoes. That way I have them for whatever I need.
Perfect.
And those go in my salsa, and they go in my spaghetti sauce, and then I'll make spaghetti sauce too, and barbecue sauce, and you know, all the other things that are tomato based.
Yep.
But tomatoes are real versatile because you can put them and use them in a whole bunch of recipes. So
Then what she does, like for the beans, we do chili, and a lot of times we're got the meats, bear meat or deer meat, or if we're fortunate get an elk, we'll use that. But she'll can big old jars of chili and stuff.
Yep.
And then
Fish, we got a bunch of fish we're going to be canning.
Nope.
bunch of fresh halibut and a bunch of fresh salmon. We're going to be camming. So
That came from our friend, the guy that David works for.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get that canned up so it can be in his food containers for his hunting, you know, because he's going to Klamath Falls himself. I'm not going with him, so it's good to be able to send stuff like canned already, you know, and all prepared. He just has to heat it up. So we'll have that kind of thing available for him. I just made clam chowder today, and I was able to, like, my aunt given us some clams fresh, and so I ground those up with our grinder, and put in our own potatoes and our own garlic and our own onions from the garden in that clam chowder. So that was really, really cool to be able to use our stuff, you know.
Yeah, it's always really cool when you have your own stuff.
It is.
That makes it just even more special. So we had a question of how do you can your fish?
Pressure counter. Usually, are you thinking like what I put in it?
What do you do?
how do you do it?
Well, most of what I canned in my fish was tuna so far, and it was. You have to hang on to it. Oh.
Yeah. So her battery's dying. I'm plugging her in. So
Okay, no problem. No problem. Y'all do what you need to do to make it comfortable now.
okay.
I put in just your basic salt and pepper. A lot of times you can go real simple with it, and then you can, add whatever you want to with how you're cooking it or preparing it.
Bone in or not?
What's that?
Bone in or not?
For the tuna or for the other fish?
For your canning your fish.
Whichever.
I would like to not have the bone in. So as much as you can, get away with not having it in, and I'll try to clean it up as much as I can. And then I put
Janelle
it
said, which seasonings and how long do you pressure cook it for?
The different meat takes different times, and I just go
He's the
by
one that asked about the fish.
my canning book.
About fish, what, like 10 minutes or?
Oh no, not
Much longer
for the
than
pressure canner. It's longer. I'd have to look it up. I don't have it offhand as far as what it calls for. I could go look that up.
Well, Janelle, get with Miss Dede. Y'all talk canning fish.
You want me to?
Just had to show get together.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She says she has a bunch of mango snapper fillets.
Ooh.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Now,
Never
do y'all get the salmon that come up in the rivers?
Yes, sir. They're running right now. So is summer steelhead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do y'all go try to get some of those, or?
Not as much as we should. We want to, but
Right.
it's one of those things where it's kind of secondary to everything else. But we've
Right.
went out a few times and we're not very good at catching them, but
Okay.
but we have fun doing it.
Hey, that's cool. I was wondering about that. I didn't know how far, the salmon came down the coast, if they were, came up in the rivers in California and Oregon. I knew they did probably in Washington on up toward Alaska, but I didn't know if they come on up those rivers in there too. So that's cool to know.
So all of
Yeah,
them, yeah.
there's world-class salmon and steelhead fishing here in these rivers.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool.
Yep. We're just not
That's
world-class fishermen.
My dad was.
Me either.
Well, I was telling Rebecca, that's something we got to do is get back to fishing. I used to do a lot of crappie fishing at night on the rivers. Get up under a bridge or around people's piers and put the lights out. And catch a good mess of crappie. And I seen where Mr. Barton this week mentioned that he needed to start going back fishing, and we all do, because that's a nothing but relaxation.
Yep, it is.
And
That's right.
And I've spent some good times with people out on the rivers at night. And I mean, some very good conversation, and so. But did now y'all have crappie out there?
We do. Not
Okay.
all of the lakes, but I think it's pretty much the warmer lakes probably do. But a lot of these coastal lakes are pretty much bass and trout, and
Okay.
there's like the catfish and stuff. But yeah, there is a lot of lakes that have crappie too.
That's good. Yeah, that's my favorite freshwater fish.
Nice.
Out of all of them, I've ate trout, and I like trout too. But
Yeah, we
trout.
love trout too. There's a lot. Every water around here has trout in it.
yeah, that's what hurts us in Alabama. Our
We
water,
don't have cold water.
we don't have enough cold water. We got a few places that hold trout a little bit, but we're more warm water. We have, a lot more bass and crappie.
Yeah.
Tell you what I really like now is a good fish is a smallmouth bass. They taste really good. But they kind of like cold water too. So
Yeah, there's a river over where I work in Roseburg. The Umpqua River is a world-class smallmouth. I mean, you're talking like you can go there and catch 200 smallmouths a day per person.
wow.
Yeah, like world-class water.
Shoot, if I get to come out there, I have to try that out.
Yeah, me and you both. I've never done it. I work
be
over there all
fun.
the time, and I've never fished it.
That'd be cool. That's one part of the country I want to come look one of these days. Visit. I've been to Wyoming one time. Wyoming was very beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I've never been there. I mean, it's only like what 3 states over or something like that, 3 or 4 states over, and I've never been there. But I know this. Patrick Noble, he's supposed to come visit us pretty soon for his first time over in this part of the country.
Hey, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Just come visit.
make sure you got a bucket for Patrick now.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Old millwright, you got to keep a bucket for us everywhere. So
Uh-huh.
throw our tools in and sit on them. So, oh me.
That's
That's
funny.
what I need now. I need to start calling Patrick. Just give him the nickname Bucket.
Bucket. What's up, Bucket? That's
Start calling
Mr.
old
Bucket.
He may get mad at me for saying that. I doubt it though.
He might. He's a pretty good guy. I think he's all right.
Yeah, Patrick got a good sense of humor. Just
Yeah.
about
Patrick
everybody.
said you're the bucket man.
I'm the Bucket man. Yeah, I guess I am.
You the Bucket man.
We had so much fun with Patrick and Scott Espinoza. We had so much fun going out with those guys. And then Michael X went
Yeah.
out with us, and David
Gary.
Porch, and
Gary Spikes.
And Gary
Jr.
Spikes,
Yeah, it was
and
fun. WL.
there was another lady.
That
went
was
out with us, too.
I cannot remember her name.
Maybe she's in chat.
I'm sorry, Patrick. He's a Boilermaker. I'm sorry. I called him a millwright, but he's a Boilermaker.
A Boilermaker.
That's like calling an iron worker a millwright. They get all uptight about it when you call them you a millwright. No, I'm an iron worker,
Same
I was
job.
an iron worker. That's what I did for like years before I went to tree work. And
okay.
Yeah, me and my brothers, we used to walk iron
used
for a
to.
job.
Right. Well, I'm actually I'm really what you call a millwright. What I started off as. Now I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. So
Yeah, I hear that. I'm a jack of some trades and a master of none.
well, when I went into the auto industry, I had to learn to become a electrician, electronics, robotics, hydraulics, pneumatics. I mean, the whole 9 yards, But
Oh,
when I worked in the marble quarries, I was just a straight millwright, so millwright / welder. So, but where I work at, it's multi-craft, so you have to do a little bit of it all, which I guess it is what it is. But
Yeah,
And if you're
true.
a single woman with no parents or siblings that were men, you learn to do it all too.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Learn to
that
do
is.
it. Said Barry
And I
said I
think they're
caught
locked up
Patrick and
again.
Scott stalking me at the Walmart during the meet and greet.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. And yeah, that was a very good meet and greet.
That was fun.
I didn't get to talk to everybody like I wanted to. There was so much going on, and I didn't get to spend time with everybody like I really wanted to.
Same.
And,
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
so, but I look forward to the next one. In fact, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight on the wood. We're going Woodland Walkers here in a little bit. We're going to be talking about the next meet and greet. So
Nice.
everybody tune in here in a little bit. When we get off here, everybody go get ready to go on Woodwalkers. Spencer will be getting it going, and we'll go on there and we'll talk a little bit about this next meet and greet coming up. So
Sounds
cool.
good.
That's exciting.
We got to get River Morris from Australia to this next one.
Yes.
yeah, we need to do that. And,
Yep. He's a
so,
good guy. I love him.
Yeah, I
River, be ready to travel.
yeah, be ready to
Uh-huh.
travel.
Have that passport ready.
Yeah, you need to go get that passport on ready. Have it in hand. I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say now. Anyway, it must. But now that was a good meet and greet. It turned out real good. Everybody, we met a lot of new folks. Got to see people face to face and really enjoyed it. And
Wish it'd been warmer for me and that I didn't have a dog with problems, but
it was what it was. So.
yep. But I enjoyed it as well. I hate that I didn't get to spend as much time with everybody.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the next one will be a little better.
Yep.
For you, so, and everything. But I look forward to us doing these meet and greets every year, and I kind of hope we get to the point where we can do 2 a year. One in spring, one in fall, and I hope we get to that point where we can do that. And yeah, I know.
Sister, get over here.
Probably sees deer out in the field.
Yeah,
Getting
come
dark over there.
We may have to run her in the house or something.
on, sister. Come here.
Sister, come here.
Get him.
You bet.
Get him.
Say that too loud. You'll get our dogs going.
May have to go put her in the house.
I gotta go get her.
Yeah, she don't know sometimes when to stop. So, well, I know y'all have had a lot of experiences in the past years. Have y'all had any recent activity going on? Now, y'all don't really have nothing going on around your home, do you?
There's been.
It's off and on, and it's kind of really far in between. Like sometimes it's a couple of years. But
Well,
was it this spring?
the last one
spring?
was our
Was
our
that
homeless guy.
Was that last spring or this spring? This spring. No.
This spring,
Was it?
I think so.
I think it was this spring. Yeah. Was the last thing we had here. You want to tell them? Or?
No, you can't.
So for like the last, I don't know, 4 years or something, there's this guy that one day just knocked on our door. And so you can pick what's called fiddleheads. They're like when the ferns are starting to come out of the ground, they're like curled up, and they call them fiddleheads. And you can pick them and sell them to like restaurants and stuff. So this guy, he's not really homeless. He had like a mobile, a travel trailer and like a beat up truck and stuff. Him and his dog, that's kind of what they would do. They'd go out and pick mushrooms, the fiddleheads, whatever they could out in the woods, kind of to feed himself, basically. And this guy's like really tough, really buff. He looked like he just got out of prison, and so he just knocks on our door one day and asks, because we have like a little, like it's probably about a 3/4 acre swamp right out here on our front door, and that's like perfect location for him. And he knocked and asked if he could pick fiddleheads, and we're like, yeah, go ahead. So he's been doing that for like 4 or 5 years. Every spring he'd come here, and so this spring, before he ever come over here to knock, we had been noticing like 2 miles away from our house down on the paved road, this trailer, like an old junky travel trailer, and a vehicle, because he'd got a different vehicle, so we didn't recognize it. And there was kind of garbage around it, and like just like what a poor person would keep, because that's the only thing they have. And I'm not bashing them or anything like that, but it was just, it was kind of like, man, why don't you take your, in my mind, I'm like, why don't you just pull your trailer somewhere else? Because the police had left like the sticker on his trailer, like he needed to pull it out of there and stuff. It was just right on the side of the road. So anyway, one day he pulls up and knocks on the door, asks if he can pick fiddleheads. And we're like, yeah, go ahead. And he's like, okay, thank you. He's real appreciative and stuff. And he goes, oh, by the way, that's me broke down on the road down there with my trailer. I'm like, oh, it is? And he's like, yeah, it's me. I'm like, what's wrong? Are you broke down, or is your trailer broke down, or your truck? And he's like, oh, the drive line in my truck is going out. And he goes, and I'm afraid to hook up my trailer and pull it anywhere, because I'm afraid I'm going to drop my drive line. And he's like, do you guys think it would be possible if I can pull my trailer up? Because we have a corner up here. It's kind of a wide pull out area and stuff. And it's like 100 yards away from our house and stuff. And he's like, you guys think it'd be okay if I pulled my trailer there until I could get my drive line fixed, or they're going to pull my trailer. They're going to tow my trailer. And I was like, well, let me and Dede talk about it. And you go ahead and go down in the swamp and pick your fiddleheads and let us talk about it. He's like, okay. So me and Dede talked about it, and we're like, you know what? Because we go by what we're told in scriptures and stuff. We're like, we need to help this guy. He's down on his fortune. He's hard up and stuff. And we're like, so when he came back up, we had a bag of food for him and just some drinks and stuff. And we're like, we thought about it. How long do you think it would take you to fix your truck? And he goes, I don't know, just a couple days. And we're like, okay, we'll let you pull your trailer up here, but you need to fix your drive line and go ahead and pull on out. This isn't like a free invitation to hang out. And he's like, no problem. So he pulls his trailer up, and ended up, I have to finish pulling his trailer in for him, which is no big deal. And we set him up. And the next morning, what was it, 9 or 10, babe, or something like that? 9 or 10 in the morning, he knocks on the door and asks if it was okay to start making noise, like banging to get his drive line fixed. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. And he turns around and starts walking off the porch. And he turns around, and I was getting ready to shut the door. And he turns around and he's like, hey. So I step back out there, and he's like, do you guys have any bears here? And this is, like I said, like this early this spring, like the beginning of spring. And I'm like, yeah, but not usually right now. In the fall, we have them. I'm like, why? Because, we've had a lot over the years. We've been here 14 years. And so over the years, we've had, a handful of stuff happen. I'm like, why? What happened? And he's like, so he goes, it was probably 2 or 3 in the morning. And he has like 100-pound dog, a big old dog and stuff. And he goes, me and my dog were laying there asleep. And all of a sudden, my dog started growling and jerked its head up and stuff. And it woke him up. And he was laying there on his back listening. And pretty soon he heard what he thought was like footsteps coming up to the trailer, his camp trailer. And it is a big camp trailer. And he said the dog just started like shivering, like shaking and shivering, and just laid down and didn't growl, didn't do anything no more. And he goes, that was the first thing. He goes, this dog isn't afraid of anything. I mean, they pretty much live in the woods, picking brush and whatever it is. And so that kind of got him on, kind of on guard right there. And he goes, it was like a couple minutes later, and it sounded like claws or fingernails just started right by his wall, by his head, scratched all the way down the trailer, all the way around the front of the trailer, all the way down the one side and stopped right by his head again. He said his dog didn't growl, just laid there shivering. And he said he was freaked out. And he said it took him like an hour or two before he calmed down enough where he just started kind of dozing back off. And his dog growled again, and he could hear the footsteps, and it sounded like it was walking off. And so I was like, huh. I was like, well, I'm not going to tell you what I think it was, but I think I know what it was. And he goes, well, I kind of think I know what it was. And I go, it wasn't a bear, just so you know. And he goes, no, I know. And like I said, we never talked about any of this or anything. This is like the first time that we've had any interaction like that. So the next night, me and my wife are in bed, and neither one of us knew that the other one was kind of awake. But we have like where Dee Dee's garden is in our backyard to keep the deer out of our fence because we have our little dogs and stuff. I just read that from Michael. but so we have like a 6-foot tall deer fence in our backyard. It surrounds our whole backyard and Dee Dee's garden and stuff. And so I'm laying there half asleep. I'm like dreaming still, but I'm kind of awake a little bit. And I hear in my mind what sounds like the fence, like stretching, like ring, like that kind of that screeching, like a wire, like a guitar string sound, like the wire stretching. And then boom, like something jumped the fence. And then boom, 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 boom. And I sat up in bed. And I was like, did you hear that? And Dee Dee was like, I heard that. And I was like, what? She goes, what was that? And I go, I don't know. Whatever it was heavy. And it sounded like it grabbed the fence and jumped over our fence and ran off. And I turned and looked at my clock, and it was 2:58 in the morning. Exactly. 2:58 in the morning. And I was like, I don't know, babe, but whatever that was, it was big. And she goes, yeah, it was big. I heard it. You could hear the footsteps running off, like 2 legs. And so we laid there and kind of talked, for a little while. And it took us both a while to go back to sleep. So the next morning, or that same morning, but later on that morning, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, or 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, the guy comes back to the house, knocks, and asks if it's okay. And I was like, yeah, go ahead and start working on it. He started walking off. And I was like, hey, his name's Donnie. I was like, hey, Donnie, by the way, did anything happen last night around your trailer? And he turned around and he goes, brother, he goes, man, I'm telling you, you guys got something going on here. And I was like, yeah, we know. And I said, why? What happened? What happened last night? He goes, I don't know what time it was. He didn't have a clock. He goes, I don't know what time it was. He goes, probably 2 or 3 in the morning. And I was like, He goes, the same thing happened where his dog started growling. He woke up and he heard the claw scratching all the way around his trailer. And we looked, and you couldn't see like scratch marks or nothing. So it was just like scraping. And he goes, and it went quiet for a minute. And he goes, man, I was freaking out. And I was like, yeah, I bet. That's kind of scary. And he didn't have like no firearm or nothing. He's probably a felon. I don't know that, but it could be. But he goes, I was just settling down again to go back to sleep. And I got goosebumps a little bit. And he goes, the window right behind his head where he was sleeping, he said it sounded like those claws or fingernails, whatever it was, just going bam, 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 bam. Like it was, he said it was hitting so hard against that window, he thought it was going to break the window in. His dog jumped off the bed and like got away from the window. And he said he just, all right. He just started yelling, all right. And it got quiet, and that was it. And he said he didn't go back to sleep till daylight. And he laid there just freaking out. And he got his driveline fixed that day, walked up and thanked us. And we gave him a bag of food and some, snacks and stuff. And he thanked us, and off he went. And so wow. that was the latest thing that happened here.
Wow. I bet. Yeah, that would get your attention,
Yep.
something banging on the window right to your head. So,
It would.
yeah.
Yeah.
Has he been back?
He was scared. You could tell by his face, that fear in your face. He was scared.
Right. Has he been back to see y'all?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. So
Hold on.
Dee Dee's coming back. She skipped out.
Hey, that's okay.
I was eating on dinner.
She was eating. So come on in here, baby.
So we won't be on much longer. We've been on here about an hour and a half, so we won't go much longer. I don't want to wear y'all out or nothing. So I know sometimes being on these shows, after a little while, you start getting wore out. I know how it is. So
we're not worn out, but yeah, I'm excited to go over to Woodwalkers and hear you guys' announcement.
Yeah, we'll go over here in a few minutes. Well, I know. So most of y'all stuff that's happened to you, though, has been out on public property, basically.
Right.
Yes.
When we were hunting.
Yes. It's almost always during August and September that this happens.
Yeah.
So y'all got that time coming up. Yeah.
I know. We're excited.
Uh-huh.
My sister's coming from LA, California area, just come up here for that. Coming up this year.
Next month.
That'd be hoot owls going off again around here.
Yep.
But that'd be cool. So I look forward to what y'all might have happen. I hope y'all success in hunting. But maybe y'all have some stuff to come back and tell us this fall about what's going on and everything. So that's kind of what happens here. Usually you start noticing stuff here around August, September. You'll start noticing little things. And in fact, we may have done noticed some stuff, but I ain't 100% sure.
Around
fact,
your house.
Yes. We may have seen some footprints in some leaves up against the house that were kind of strange. And then last night on one of my game cameras, I've got a critter getting into the cat food area for an outside cat. And so I set a live trap out, and also I put a game camera out. I got one of those Edge that sends the picture straight to you as soon as it takes it.
Nice.
And I caught a strange light on the ground. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that one's strange.
That is very strange, and I may put it in my next video. I may just put a picture of it and let everybody look at it and see what they think it is. But it was about 2:30 in the morning. And funny thing is, the cat is sitting up on the hood of our lawnmower and it's looking at it. It's noticed the light itself, so it's kind of weird.
That's interesting.
So the next video I put out, I'll probably put that in there and let everybody just look at it and see what they think. Anyway, it may not be nothing.
Yeah.
But you never know, these day and times.
Yep.
So the place y'all will be going to is the same area that y'all had your first experiences at and everything?
Yeah, in
Those are
2019 where we had the roar and all that stuff happen. Yeah, we don't camp at that exact same spot, but we're in the same woods.
Okay.
Yeah, we're never camping there. We hunt
They're
there,
in that area.
exact same spot, but we don't camp there no more.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, we're not looking, we've went out and, as you guys call it, boogering or Bigfoot or whatever.
Yeah.
We have done that and went out and made calls and banged trees and done all that. But for the most part, like especially during hunt season, we're not out there looking for them. I actually, after that happened in 2019, it was like 2 weeks later or something. We went camping, or a week later, I think maybe. We pulled our trailer our camper to a whole different area. And I literally had cold sweats trying to go to sleep the first night. I was like, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm not necessarily scared, but I'm not out there looking for that. I don't want interaction. I don't want a 10-foot tall monster looking in my window or whatever. You know what I mean? I'll protect myself if I have to, but I'm not looking for that experience. It almost kept me out of the woods for a long time.
I understand. It kind of, when I seen my first one, it made me really think about stuff. But then I made up my mind. I wasn't letting that run me out of the woods. But I'm still cautious.
That's what I did, the same thing. I said, you know what? I'm not going to let this take away from, what we love to do. This is our love. you know, is to be able to go out and hunt and fish and enjoy our area where we live, because we live in a beautiful place, and I don't want that to be taken away from us. And I said, I'm not gonna let it. I'm gonna, you know, with God, I can overcome it. So that's what happened.
And it was her. I mean, she was the one first, even before me.
Yeah.
It was like, I was like, babe, I don't know if I can go camping again, honestly, especially up there.
Oh yeah, you can.
And she was like, yeah, we're going. I'm not going to let it.
going.
And I'm like, all right, well, we're going. You know, and if she would have been like, you know, I don't think I want to either, who knows how long it would have been.
Right.
If
right.
all.
If at all, yeah.
Yeah.
But it does, when you lay your eyes on one, it does, you change your thinking about a lot of things. When you actually get your eyes laid on one, it does something to you.
It does.
You become a knower.
Yeah, and it changes your whole perspective and your whole outlook. You're definitely not the main predator out there.
No,
Yeah.
you're not.
Food chain.
Yeah, you're not the top of the food chain.
Not anymore.
That makes you think, how many times have I actually probably had these things around me and I didn't realize it because I wasn't looking for it.
Yeah.
And I was, how many times had I had them? Me being a coon hunter, I'm in the wood. I was in the woods a lot at night, and I've heard all kind of crazy things way before I seen one of these. But I always tried to write it off. Hey, that's just another animal going through, or smell something. Hey, that's a weird smell, but and then once you see one of these things, then you go thinking back over your past. Man, how many times was I around these things and didn't even realize they were there?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So when it roared at us, before it roared at us, it had done the owl call, just perfectly,
like a barred
like
owl.
an owl.
Woo, woo.
Yeah.
That exact call.
And then it did a coyote, yip 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 yip, and then it.
But it wasn't
so
the same
loud.
being doing it. The one was here, the other one was a little over. So there was three sound. Those three sounds came from three different voice boxes, whatever they were.
Directions or whatever.
But the same direction, but just a little offset from each other,
Right.
off behind our camp. So it was like an owl sound, coyote sound, and then the roar from three different voice boxes.
And it was simultaneously, one after another.
Yeah.
To get attention. Or
Yeah. The roar was so insane loud. I mean, bull elk are 1,000 pounds, up to 1,000 pounds. And we've called bull elk because we hunt during the rut. The bow season's during the rut. We've had bull elk bugle right by us. And
a bull just went right by me, and I had a 40-yard shot. I had miscalculated my distance and I missed, but he was running past me, and he and the herd went right past me when I was bow hunting, and it was like David said, 1,000-pound animal,
and they're loud,
and they're really loud.
But this roar,
but this was
from that distance.
Loud,
I mean, we figured the roar came from like about 100 yards away from us.
Yeah,
it would have. We calculated, like, if it was like 10 freight horn train, freight train horns at once. Yes. Just whoa! It was so loud you could feel it in your chest. I mean,
it just vibrated.
Yeah,
your body, but it's like it felt like we could feel it, in the ground.
Just
even, it was so intimidating.
Yeah,
and overwhelming that it's like, we're out of here.
Yeah,
because that's the message that they were trying to portray.
Yeah, we felt like that roar was basically
a warning.
Get out of here now.
Move it.
It was like, leave now. That's what it felt like.
We irritated them.
Yeah, my sister, drunk sister, I think, irritated them.
Well, this when I got the T-Rex roar, what I call the T-Rex, because that's about what it sounded like.
Yep.
Just watching Jurassic Park and that old T-Rex roars. That's what me and 3 other guys sit there and witnessed one night and felt it hit us in the chest. You could actually feel it in your body.
Yes.
And we'd been hearing the barred owls. In fact, we were coon hunting, and our dogs just quit hunting, came back to the truck, and we was down in this big holler, and we had 7, 8 owls just around us, and that's the same one tonight that coughed on me. The owl went to coughing. That tells you what that was. I ain't never heard an owl cough before. This, it was started off as a hoot owl, and the next thing it was, and then I looked at my buddy and I said, "You know what that was?" He said, "Yeah, I know what that was." I said, "Ain't no owl does no coughing like that."
No.
Right.
And we left out of there because the dogs quit hunting. They come back to the truck ready to load up, and we went out of there. I got out of that deep holler and got back up on top of a hill about a half a mile away. And that's when my buddy pulled out his drum bull and pulled it. And that's when we got the big T-Rex roar back from that area we just had came from. So I give anything if we could have had that recorded that night.
That's
Hey,
true.
Mark, you know, with us, my sister, she still has it on her phone. We have all the owl calls, and you know, at first the owl started calling because it was like 10 o'clock at night and we were getting ready to go to bed. We were elk hunting, camping. First time for her ever up there, and she was kind of scared a little bit being up there, a little intimidated. But she was recording this, and when I heard the owl, I was like, "Hey, do you want me to call back?" And she's like, "Yeah, go ahead." So I just started calling back, and me and the owl were just talking back and forth, and I'm doing like the owl,
Yeah.
and
Whatever it
she
was.
was doing, and then everything went down, and right before the roar and the coyote yip and the owl sound, we were trying to get our little dog Peanut to go to the bathroom because Dee Dee was getting ready to go in her camper to go to bed. And the dog was nervous. And now looking after that happened, we know why the dog was nervous and went and go to the bathroom. And we thought, well, maybe Cindy, my sister, was making the dog nervous by her doing the owl calling, because she was still sitting over by our camper, like laughing to herself. She was having a good time. It was fun. We were laughing too. And I was like, "Hey, Cindy, do you think you can stop calling for a minute? Because we think it's making the dog nervous." She's like, "Yeah, okay." Well, when I said that, she turned her phone off, her recording. And literally, it was 30 seconds later?
Not even
that. Yeah. We picked the dog up and walked over to her. Then the owl went like, "Whoo, whoo, 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 whoo," and it kind of dropped in like this weird, and then immediately, yip, 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 and then, roar, and she literally just turned her phone off from recording.
Wow.
It was amazing. And we even talked about Jurassic Park. I was like, "Hey, Sandy, remember on Jurassic Park when the Velociraptor, or that one, was keeping like the attention on the guy and the other one was sneaking around behind it?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "That's probably what's going on right now. The owl's calling to us and the other creatures behind us." And we laughed about that. It's on a recording. But literally like 30 seconds before it roared, she turned her phone off.
Wow.
Of course.
That's just the way it goes. If I'd been recording a lot of times when I should have, there's no telling what I'd have on audio. And,
yep.
We got something going on out here now. I don't know if
I
anybody heard that.
There.
There was something back over here, and you heard something a while ago that I missed. What was it?
I don't know.
Where was
To be honest, it was coming from that way.
Back behind us.
Mm-hmm.
They want to hear the show too.
Yeah, I guess.
Apparently.
Here's some calls, Mark. Come on, Becca, let them rip.
Woodwalkers comes on when we end, guys.
Yeah, as soon as we end the live, Spencer will come on, and we'll come in. Me and Rebecca we're probably going to go inside for the woodwalkers because she's getting toted off by the bugs.
Yeah, they are just steadily
And,
eating me over here.
And 2, we'll probably go in and sit down on the couch and do the woodwalkers. But it'll be a few more minutes. We fixing to get ready to go, and I just want to give them time to talk a little bit and get people to know them. And I know most everybody on here knows David and Dee, but like for the and I'm glad to have y'all on with us tonight. there's a lot of people I'd love to have on with us, and I've been steadily asking people, and some, well, I don't know if I want to do it right now. And I understand that. I ain't going to pressure nobody about it. And,
Yeah.
and some say, hey, look, I just can't get on there. I'm sorry. I say, I understand, you know. And then scheduling time, a lot of folks, this is a busy time of the year for a lot of people. So people going and so, but we'll, I got a lot of more on here that's going to come on sooner or later. And because I love this because we all get the fellowship.
Yep.
Because the way I work, I don't get to do a whole lot of it. When a lot of shows are going on, I'm heading to work. So I can't interact in the chat hardly. I'm having to listen. And then when I get to work, I can't get on there much. And so it kind of, what's going on?
It hinders.
Yes, the road is behind us.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's kind of that way and that way with the house in the middle. So.
Well, thank you guys for having us on. It's an honor.
Yeah, we're honored, honestly.
Hey, Wendell, y'all don't have to jump back and forth. They're not starting till we end.
Unless he's going to come on.
Oh, yeah. Well, because we're supposed to be on there with him.
Yeah.
Well, let's go and check him out.
Yeah, well, let me do the prayer list real quick, and we'll do a prayer and we'll get off here.
Prayer request.
Y'all have anybody y'all need to add on here, David and Dee?
I don't think so.
I think everybody's pretty good actually at the moment. But I mean, uh-oh, babe.
Y'all done lost us.
Yeah, something happened.
Got sound, and there we go. You're back.
Okay.
He pushed something.
I'm pushing buttons. No, I think we're okay, honestly. Let's get people who need them.
Okay. Well, we want to keep Miss Christie. Of course, she was in chat with us tonight. That was real good to see her.
Bobby Younts on there.
Bobby. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Bobby. We sure will. We got your mother still in prayer too, Bobby.
And unspoken for Dee Dee.
Unspoken for Dee Dee. Okay.
Dee Dee Harrison.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Corf Gary, Miss CD, Mark D, Stacy, Corf Greg, and our friends David and Kathy, and Mr. John and his wife Kate. Katie's in here. Seen her a while ago somewhere. There she is now. So keep Miss Phyllis.
Yes.
Prayers. Her father passed away this week, and also I think she's been to the doctor some. So y'all keep Phyllis and John in prayer. Y'all keep Mr. Terry Allen. He was in here earlier, and his wife in prayer. Miss Jubilee. Can't see Miss Jubilee tonight. David Hughes, him and his mother. Y'all keep him in prayer. Miss Cindy Johns. Miss Sherry Griffin. She was in here a few minutes ago. I don't know if Miss Sherry is still here or not. Mr. Gene and his family. And everything. Y'all keep those in prayer.
Christy Leslie probably could use one.
Yeah.
I think we named her first.
Yeah,
sorry. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Our neighbor Peggy Martin. Of course, remember my family. My uncle back in the hospital. My brother-in-law got put in the hospital yesterday. Had a cousin pass away this past week. And then I had a cousin have open heart surgery. So a lot going on in my family this week.
Hillary. Did you put her on there?
Yeah, Miss Hillary.
And Barry Lackey.
Okay.
With a severe stroke.
Okay. Let's see. River. Y'all keep River in your prayers. And keep Crabtree. Mark Creel's mom, I think, is doing a lot better now. Miss Lanita, she was in chat here a little while ago. And it's getting so dark, I can't read out here. Miss Jean's son, and also Miss Jean's a friend of her family, the Stutter family. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Stutter. Is it Stutter? Okay. Let's see, D.A. Roberts, Mr. Tennessee Cherokee. I seen him earlier tonight. I hope he's feeling better. And we had somebody named Jessica, and I can't remember who put her in our prayer list last week, but y'all remember her. So I think that's everybody, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. Of course, Wendell, he's been in chat tonight. Wendell's doing better. He had his procedure done the other day. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm getting tongue-tied. So good to see Wendell back with us and everything. So y'all be in prayer for, that's right. I'm sorry. Thank you, PJ. I'm glad you said that. I need to put your name by her name. That way I know.
Wow, Jessica.
Well, we got an owl closer to us now. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not.
Put Jeannie Browning.
Jeannie Browning.
Who's that? Jeannie Browning. Okay.
Cousin's wife.
Okay.
DA.
All right.
And a random name from work, Linda.
Linda.
Mm-hmm. When I tell them I'm going to pray for them, I'm going to pray for them.
Okay. Yeah.
And Bo's wife for recovery.
Bo's wife. Okay. Yeah.
It's going to be yourself.
Guy went to school with.
Very much.
His wife has been having some reconstruction surgery from breast cancer.
Y'all pray for my boss man last night. He hit a cow on the way to work, so totaled out his Honda Element. I know Christy and somebody else will be, but he'd had that thing for years. That's what he drove back and forth to work, and he'd come around the curve, and there was a big old heifer standing in the middle of the road, and he couldn't stop quick enough, and she wouldn't move. He couldn't get away from her, so he hit her and totaled out his Element. So you just never know.
Robert said he could use a prayer, Mark.
Robert? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me put Robert on here. Thank you for catching that, David. I probably would have missed that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I said something about Mark D. was. I need to text Mark again and check on it too.
And Bobby Younce's sister, Sunny. Susan, excuse me.
Susan. Okay. All righty. And we'll if ain't no more, we'll go ahead and do the prayer and we'll get ready to sign off. And
Okay.
we'll go over all on Woodwalkers here in just a minute. We'll aggravate Spencer. I caught one of his cousins today. So in the live trap, that's what I caught last night. My live trap was a big old possum. And I told him I should have took a picture of it.
I
Rebecca.
asked Mark, I said, did you take a picture of it and send it to Spencer and tell him to get back to Virginia?
Virginia
Mark said
possums.
no.
No. All right, y'all. We'll do a little short prayer and we'll call it a night and everything.
Amen. Let's do it.
Lord, thank you for everything you do for us each and every day. Thank you for your love, your compassion, your peace, your mercy, your justice. Thank you for your son and what he has done for us, Lord, and being our Savior and our mediator. Thank you, Lord, for sending the Holy Spirit amongst us to convict us of our sin, but also to guide us through life and to try to learn what the accuser tries to use as deception against us. Lord, be with all these names that were called out and names not called out tonight, Lord. You know their issues they're having, whatever it be, Lord. If it be thy will to heal them or to help them with whatever they got, Lord, we ask that you please do that. Lord, be with us as we go in the rest of this weekend and take care of us, Lord. We give you all honor and praise and glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Well, we really enjoyed having y'all on tonight and getting to hear a little bit about where y'all live at and some of the stuff that y'all do, like the hunting and the gardening, and because that's the whole other end of the country. You know, you might as well say Alabama's pretty much on the Gulf Coast or East Coast. You could about here say. and y'all typically all the way across the U.S. So I'm glad to have y'all on, and we'll do it soon again. Maybe later on this fall or in the winter after y'all have done some hunting, get you back on. Tell us about it. If you have any activity or anything too.
We will.
Sounds good. Can I make a little shout out there, Mark?
Oh yeah, whatever you want to do, David.
I don't know if she's in chat. She hasn't, that I've seen. She hasn't said anything in chat. But I got a 15-year-old great niece who lives in Michigan now, and she watches every show that I've been on and me and Dee Dee's been on. She watches them over and over and over and over. So I wanted to give a shout out to Layla, my great niece. Love you, Layla. And also wanted to shout out to Old Line Cryptids with Jeff and Jerry. They're going to have me on again as a guest co-host. And I also wanted to shout out to Mary Fabian, and she's wonderful. We love Mary. And then I also wanted to say to everybody in chat tonight, I mean, these are like, you guys are not just friends, you guys are family, and we appreciate everything, man. And we love you guys.
Yeah, everybody is family to us, and I couldn't agree with you more there, David. And there's a lot of other good channels out there too. Miss V over on the not so perfect Bigfoot show.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And Mr. Barton Nunley and
yes,
East TV and a lot of folks. Miss Fabian, I agree with you. So.
Yes. They're down on people, man, and they're the ones out there making a difference and getting people to get stuff off their chest and getting the information out there. I love that.
Yeah, I do too, and that's what it's about. It's about fellowship and being able to talk out things, and that's one reason me and Rebecca try to steer people away from Bigfoot a little bit, is because I know a lot of shows, that's what you get on. You go straight into Bigfoot, and that's all you talk about. But I like to learn more about you.
Well, and not only that, but how many times have you told the Bigfoot stuff already?
Right.
Yeah, over and over and over.
You're right.
Yeah.
And I like to hear about where you from and what you experience every day in your area. And tonight we got a little bit of it. I know it'd be a big show. It'd take a long time, but it gives me more perspective about where you're coming from, and what y'all experience in y'all part of the country. And I mean, I know we didn't do nothing but scratch the surface, but that's what I really like about it. Hearing, more and more about people and everything. So,
yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
I'm gonna be toted off if we don't wrap it up.
She's looking pale.
Yeah, she's been flogging. These things don't bother me. I don't know what the deal is.
They must like the smell of this stuff.
It's probably doing
mosquito attractant.
Well, it's glad to have y'all on, and we look forward to seeing y'all next time at a meet and greet or wherever it is, and hopefully one of these days me and Rebecca can come out to the West Coast and visit.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys got a place to stay, man. You just get out here.
Yep.
We'll do that. Maybe if I can't do it here in the next year or two, I know when I get retired, I'm gonna do some traveling. So
nice.
Good.
That welcome's always open, brother.
I appreciate that. Y'all welcome here anytime. Everybody's welcome to come here. We've had a lot of visitors, and we enjoy having everybody come visit with us and getting to show them our part of the country too. So,
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Well, we're going to get off here, and we'll see everybody over on Woodwalkers in a few minutes. It'll take me and Rebecca a few minutes to get everything shut down and move to in the house, but we'll be on there shortly and everything. So,
all right.
See you later.
Appreciate it. Love y'all.
Bye, guys.
Love y'all.
Night,
Love all the family and
Bye.
chat.
Love you guys.
All right. Bye-bye.